Hello, all. Welcome to my podcast. This is Vanessa Fletes. I am creating this new podcast because it's been long awaited for me personally. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time, but I feel that I am in such a good state of mind and I feel like I am in a good place right now in my life. And this is something that I have been wanting to do. Why? Because I just love talking to people. I love expressing myself and I love podcasters. I when I go on YouTube, that's what I watch a lot of the times, and it's sometimes could be very motivating. Sometimes it could be very entertaining. Sometimes it just helps me get through my day a little bit quicker. And so I decided this is something I really want to do. And yeah, so hopefully, guys, hopefully you guys enjoy this podcast. Mm, little ASMR moment. Yes, that is really good. I am currently going to the gym, so a little cookie's not gonna do any damage. But yeah, basically, so this podcast is going to be a very broad type of podcast. I like to talk about various things. So if you guys have any suggestions of what my next podcast should be about, please comment down below or go ahead and reach out to me. And feedback is just great because I know I'm going to receive lots of feedback, maybe good, maybe bad. It doesn't matter. But either way, it's your guys' opinions and that's okay. But I really would like feedback on what it is I should talk about. What are you guys interested in learning about? But just to begin, this podcast is going to be mostly about my journey, my mental health journey, and how I ended up being here today, like in this situation of sitting down right in front of you guys, podcasting, being able to share my life very openly, what led to this moment. And a lot of events led to this moment. But yeah, that's why I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. And hopefully, you guys can relate and definitely listen in on it because I know that there's people out there who are probably going through things that I'm about to talk about or already did as well. And you guys could definitely see how that impacts somebody. So I'm going to start with talking about my childhood. Deep breaths. I had a I can say, pretty good childhood because childhood speaking, elementary school and part of middle school. But as I started growing up, things got a little bit more tough. My parents started parenting me in a way that really affected me and my mental health, I can say. And this is crazy because this is something that I kind of was realizing around this year, 2022. I started to come to means by realizing that my middle school and high school years of the way my parents parented me. So basically, it impacted me a lot. And I actually did struggle with mental health, even though I didn't go to the doctor, I didn't get diagnosed or anything, but I know like certain symptoms and I know that this is how I felt. So in middle school, I wasn't really allowed to go out, neither was I in high school. So a lot of my friends would come back and after like the weekend talking about, oh, this party was cool, blah, blah, blah. And I was just there like, and then like eventually they stopped inviting me to parties, but I don't blame them because I probably might have done the same maybe because when there's somebody who you know cannot like go out, you're not going to invite them to parties. You're just going to let them be. And like I said, I don't blame any of them, but yeah, I was kind of like out of the circle, even though like all my friends they would hang out together and talk about it, whatever. And then as I started getting older, like in high school, my parents started realizing, okay, maybe we should like let her out a little bit more. So they started like being a little bit more free with me. but still not to the point that I was able to just go out whenever I wanted, which is fine. But they kind of, it was kind of more pushed for me to stay in more than anything. Or if I would go out, they wanted to join me. And it was kind of like, can I just go on my own? So that's a lot of times with family is where I would completely just like want to stay with them all the time because with my family, I knew I could spend the night at their house and I felt a little bit more free. But yeah, with my parents, it was different and it is what it is. This is not to bash anybody. This is not to make you feel bad, but this is just me saying what really happened in my childhood and how it impacted me. So, um, yeah, I would stay in a lot of the times, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that right now. Maybe you're not allowed to go out much. Maybe your parents, I don't know, don't let you out. They don't trust you, and they're not letting you out, and that's okay. Because instead of being worried about going out, I should have been more focused on doing something for myself, like a sport or keeping my mind busy rather than focused on going out with friends and going and partying. Because at the end of the day, that is not going to benefit you, but it can teach you things. But yeah, it's not going to be like a huge, huge benefit rather than joining a sport, learning, showing like trying to figure yourself out and seeing that you actually do have a talent and there's more to life than just going out and friends and partying and stuff. So, but in the moment, I didn't know that those things could are really really important. So I had a lot of focus on the wrong things, which was going out and stuff. And my parents knew that that's what I wanted to do a lot. Um, but them keeping me in, of course, wasn't helping. So eventually, when I did go out, it was very weird. You can actually, if you're watching this, whoever knew me in high school, yeah, this is the truth. So I would sometimes act really, really dumb. Still do. No, I'm just kidding. No, but okay. So sometimes I would act really, really dumb. And that was because I struggled a lot with social anxiety. And I realize this now because that I really didn't want to talk to anyone when I was out. I mainly just wanted to like kind of keep to myself and like hide behind people a little bit and just I was just happy to be out, you know. I was happy to be out, but I wasn't so social because of I guess being used to being so in maybe. Eventually people don't really remember how to interact so well. And me, I'm a very social person. So if you know me right now, you're like probably like, what the heck? She had social anxiety. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people did struggle with things in their childhood, and a lot of people don't know about it. But now it's like, yeah, I did. And it's normal because a lot of people do. But yeah, I struggled with that. And then as I got older, I started finding myself a little bit more. As I got older, every single year, I started figuring myself out. I worked at Domino's for a second after that, and it was really cool because I got to meet a lot of new people and learn a lot of new skills. And even though that job was, I've, I have no words for that job. It was fun, but it was just something else. Like it didn't even sometimes feel like a job. But it was really cool because I got to meet a lot of cool people and really get to know myself a little bit more in the process. And it was cool. It was cool. And so from there, that was a little journey. And that's where I met my significant other. That he's really helped me with my mental health. And it's been like a roller coaster for us. We've actually gone through a lot and, you know, relationship issues. And in the beginning when we got together, I was kind of a little bit insane and I still kind of was in the mode of I want to go party, I want to go do this because again, I didn't get to do that as a teenager and now that I was free to do a little bit more, I kind of just wanted to go all crazy, right? And he's like the opposite, not really into that kind of stuff. And I kind of got him into it, but then at the same time, it's not really him. So we kind of learned to meet each other in the middle. And I guess what really helped was just seeing what a strong person he was and how much he cared about me. And eventually it grew my love for him. And of course, vice versa. I know his love also grew for me because back then there's a lot of things that I'm sure he wants to change, but at the same time, we wouldn't be here today if there was things that he would have changed. But yeah, it's like it was a roller coaster, the relationship, but at the same time, like I said, it helped my mental health, and I know it helped his as well. It helped him feel like he belongs somewhere, and not saying he didn't feel like he belonged, but um, not every family is very united and together and stuff. So my family made him feel a little bit more like togetherness and stuff like that. And going off of that, I met him, and yeah, we met each other in the middle. We were completely different, but somehow the same because we understood each other really well. But then we came from like both Hispanic, like I said, both Hispanic households, but different upbringings. As in, our parents had different ways of bringing us up. Especially, I mean, I know males sometimes like are brought up differently than females, and yeah, sadly, that's just the reality. Of course, Mexican households, it ranges from the way women should be, the way men should be, and they paint this picture that the way we're each supposed to be, which sometimes it's kind of annoying because it's like, why do I have to cook for you? Or I mean, you're working, I'm working, why can't you just cook for yourself? Or why do I have to serve you at a family party? Just an example. Like, so that I don't look bad or something. It's like, I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous to me, but sometimes we just have to respect that those cultural norms that have been built. But I mean, me personally, in my household, my parents didn't push that too much, besides the whole woman cooking thing. But I mean, not even because my dad would even cook sometimes for my family. So those cultural norms are a little bit less strict in my household, which is awesome. But then there's other things that weren't great. So it's like it varies. It varies. But yeah, at the end of the day, we have to respect it sometimes. You just got to respect it. So yeah, moving on from that, I started getting older. You know, we started doing things together that were really cool and helping my mental health, helping him as well. And then eventually, you know, no, sorry, hold on before I get there. I was actually still in college. So I was going to school and I was in college. So my parents were supporting me because I was still in school and all that. And I had dreams and goals. But I don't think those dreams and goals were necessarily what I wanted at the not even at the time, just that's not what I really wanted. And as I got older and I now I'm gonna get to this, we were happy, we were together, living separately, and then finally I got pregnant within like a small amount of time. I got pregnant, and at first I was so scared and I didn't know what to do because it's something that I didn't expect and it wasn't in my plans. Sorry. But a lot of times something unplanned could go really great, and that's actually what ended up happening. It went really great because this child, she changed everything. My baby changed everything for me, and I feel she changed everything for him as well. He got a more serious job after that. We both left Domino's because we were both working together, as I mentioned. And he got a more serious job, and I got more focused on finishing school, which is what I'm still doing right now. And so this journey has led us up to a certain point where I completely found what I wanted to do, because when I was in college before I had a child, I wasn't too sure if there was things that I wanted to do, and I started feeling like, why am I even in college if I don't even know what I want to do and I don't even like what I'm doing. I was going for dentistry, and then I started going for um teacher, but in reality that's not what I wanted to do. So like I said, finally, as I was we lived together, and we lived with my family for a good while, and I feel like all that happened for a reason, because living with my family kind of showed me what I really wanted to do, and that was now my sister growing up, getting older. And back then when I was younger, of course, in high school, she was still little, and we didn't really talk. We weren't really like close or anything like that. She was more of a snitch. And yeah, so when she got older, she's like telling me like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for being such a snitch. I'm sorry for this and that." Kind of like with my older sister. Now I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry I did that," but it is what it is. It happened, um, and she's gotten a lot closer to me. So she's a big reason why I want to do what I'm doing now, which is therapy and for family and marriage counseling to help people. And the reason why is because a lot of times she would ask me for advice, and there's a lot of things behind this. And I was kind of almost like, I was kind of like her second mom, I guess you could say. And a lot of the time, she didn't have confidence to go to my mom. Thank God now that is completely different. And she literally, her and my mom have grown so much. And whenever there's something going on, my mom is her go to now. And that's so amazing. And that was pretty much my goal, to make her be this open person that can trust my mom, can trust her parents, can trust her family, her sisters. That was kind of the ultimate goal, and it happened. So what I did was mainly just talk to her, communicate, and let her be open about things that she necessarily couldn't always be open with my mom and or my dad. And this really was something I liked doing, because I felt like I was helping her, and it brought me like a lot of confidence, satisfaction, my confidence just boost. And also helping out her friends. Her friends eventually started coming to me. They'd be like, "Oh, Vanessa, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And I tell them the truth, and I wouldn't sugarcoat it. So, and this persona that I found in myself while living at my parents' house, while raising my baby, and it's this person that I'm going to carry with me for the rest of my life, because now I know what I want to do. And it's crazy that those experiences really shaped who I am. Now, that actually took a while. When I was living in my mom's home, all of that with my sister, it took a while. Probably from all of her high school years, and then part of middle school. So she in middle school, what, like eighth grade, and then eighth grade up until eighth, nine, 10 to now. So now she's in 11th grade, and she's gonna be a senior next year, right? Or is she graduating this year? Guys, she's a senior this year. Oh my goodness. Okay. So it literally up until now she's a senior. I thought she was still a junior. But yeah, so time is just flying, guys. Crazy. So yeah, so she's a senior now, and next year she's going to go to university and pursue her dreams. And I'm just glad that I was there throughout pretty much all of her high school years and part of middle school to help her with certain problems. And at first, when she was in middle school, she was scared to come to me. She was scared because she thought that I was going to judge her. She thought that I was going to tell her, no, don't do that. That's bad or whatever. But in reality, I was like, whenever you need me, just know I'm here. That's kind of how and then eventually I started talking to my mom a little bit more, my sister, and this relationship has been built between them, a great relationship. And like I said, that was the outcome that I wanted, and it happened. And so it brings me so much joy. Why? Because I didn't have that, guys. And now that I see that she has that, it's like this fulfillment inside of me, like, oh yes, like at least she did good. She's doing good, and she has a great communication with my parents. And a big part of it is also that my mom has grown and accepted her mistakes. And then it also has to do with that my sister has me. So it's really cool to see like my evolution from being this immature little high school girl that doesn't know what she's doing and has social anxiety to now being this woman that I am today. And it's like I'm happy and I found myself. I'm helping my sister. I even my older sister. She's my older sister is just so smart and full of knowledge, and she wasn't there for me when I was growing up. That was because we didn't live in the same household. With my little sister, we lived in the same household when she was growing up. So I had that opportunity of helping her out. But I know that if my older sister would have, it'd be the same. But my older sister left pretty early, and I was just starting high school actually when she left, I believe. So I don't know, everything happens for a reason, and I see growth in all three of us. So thank you, Mom. I see growth in myself. I see growth in my little sister. I see growth in my older sister, and it's just so amazing. And at the end of the day, all of this childhood memories and things that impacted us as young children maybe happen for a reason. As bad as that sounds, and it is something kind of that we need to go through in order to be where we're at today. And so, going into mental health, I do want to say that a lot of the times what helps us is keeping busy. Keeping busy is what I'm trying to do right now. So that way I don't fall back into some type of social anxiety, or I don't take steps backwards, because keeping busy is like a big part of why I'm okay right now. It's like I'm going to the gym, I'm podcasting, I am taking care of my daughter and taking her to sports. I sometimes like going and spending time with my family, going to the movies, going to do fun things with the family and such. And raising my child, going off a little bit off topic, but raising my child, it's like another escape, because I think about, if I go and do this, it's going to benefit her, because she's going to know that, okay, my mom is like, she takes me out. My mom, she does this, she does that. She takes me to practice. She does this. Later, children remember little things like that. Like, oh, my mom used to take me to practice. My mom, she was there for me when this and that. Or my dad, even, if you're a single dad, or if you're a stay-at-home dad, and they're going to remember later, they're going to say, oh, yeah, I remember that my mom or dad used to do this. And all of this really impacts them, and the way that you are around them and show them is going to impact their mental health. It's going to impact you, because you're going to see that they're happy, and everyone around you, your significant other. They're going to be like, wow, you're doing such a great job. And they're going to see it because the child is happy. That's a lot of the times when a child is not happy, we have to take a step back and think about what is it that we're doing wrong. And sometimes it's just that we're not okay within ourselves. So we got to find how to solve that problem of becoming a better you in order for your family to become a better them. So a lot of times it is good to stop and reflect and then remember to continue doing things for yourself, or else no one's going to be happy. So going back into what it is we should be doing to keep ourselves a little bit more busier, maybe something like trying to be a part of the community a little bit more here. As you may or may not know, we purchased a house, and I'm in this whole other town that I didn't grow up in, and it's cool because now I can really get to go out and meet new people and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Another thing is my spiritual health. I've been trying to maintain my spiritual health, and I suggest that you guys do the same. Whatever it is that you guys do, whatever it is that you guys want, it can be done. Just you have to find a way that's motivating for you to do it. And my spiritual health has definitely helped me. I pray sometimes, I read the Bible sometimes. It's cool. It helps me. And then same with you guys. I feel like whatever it is, if you like meditating, if you like, whatever it is that you like doing, praying like me, that's okay, but try to make it a part of your little routine, implement it, and eventually you're going to feel better, and it's going to motivate you to go out and do your tasks, go work out, go hiking, go paint, go do whatever it is that you love doing, and it really relaxes you at the same time. Another thing that I would really suggest is letting out your emotions. So in the process of me and my childhood journey and becoming who I am today, a lot of the times I had to cry. A lot of times I had to kind of tell somebody how I was feeling, or else it didn't feel like I was letting my feelings out, and I just felt trapped. So that helps you let go a lot and forgive. And I go to whoever it is that I'm feeling whatever type of issues, and I tell them how I'm feeling, and then we could either cry together, or this person will tell me, "Oh, I'm sorry," or I'll tell them, "I'm sorry I did this," or because it goes both ways. And yeah, we just always gotta have that openness of letting out our emotions, or else a lot of things are just going to be kept in. Trust me, they're gonna be kept in. Maybe journaling, letting out your feelings like that, writing it down, maybe writing down some song lyrics, maybe singing even, or dancing. And that goes all back to keeping yourself busy. Uh, there's a lot of ways that you can keep yourself sane and not letting that brain tackle and take over your emotions. So definitely look into finding something to do for yourself, and it's super amazing. Reading a book, such a great escape because you learn so much that you did not know before, and it keeps you busy in the moment. So that's really cool too. I just suggest you guys get up and get out and do something, because it makes you feel really good when you're in an environment that you can really just feel good and relaxed. And maybe your household is a little bit loud and crazy. I would suggest going to the library and picking up a book and reading, or going on a hike, leaving your household for a little bit, so that way, you can keep your mind off those negative thoughts. So that's my advice to you guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Sorry if it was a little bit long, but I just feel like I needed to speak upon certain things to get my point across. And yeah. So yeah, to end it off, I really hope you guys enjoyed my first podcast. This is super amazing to me because, like I said, it's something that I've been wanting to do. And I'm glad if you're here listening, if this touched only one person, if only one person is listening, cool, whatever. I am okay with that. I just really wanted to do this. This is something I wanted to do. So this is amazing. And like I said, if you guys have any type of like suggestions on what I should do my podcast about, do you guys want some special guests here? Because I definitely want to get some special guests here. Please let me know in the comments or send me a DM on Instagram. Y'all know me, maybe not. I don't know, but I will respond to you. And I hope, like I said, I hope this podcast was somehow entertaining, somehow got you through your day a little bit. That was my first podcast, so it was more of a serious podcast, more of a come get to know me and little life lessons on what maybe you should do for your mental health. If you guys really enjoyed this podcast, please give it a like. Show me that you guys are watching it and give me some feedback on what I could change. And obviously, this, like I said, it was my first podcast. And if you guys would like to hear just general topics and stories about gossip and stuff like that, or parenting, mom stories, family, anything, I am more than happy to share anything with you guys, but just please let me know. Now, if I don't really get much feedback, I will definitely I think my second podcast, I already have it kind of planned out in my head. I'm probably going to be doing like questions that men are too afraid to ask girls, and just tell you guys a lot of stories that have occurred to me, and funny stories and interesting stories and a lot of that kind of stuff. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this first podcast. Like I said, I will be making more, and I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.